And for me, there is no limit on how much we can embody our personal power. Because the way that I view personal power is a little bit like consciousness. There is no limit to consciousness. It's like the universe. There's no start, there's no finish. So as we continue to grow and to expand, then we are just continuing to grow and expand and evolve in our personal power. So I think it's absolutely worth recognizing that within yourself. Because one thing that I absolutely know to be true after working in this field for well over a decade now, there are so many people out there that are sitting on the sidelines. They want to experience something different. They want to experience feeling different. They want some aspect of their life to be different. They have ideas about what they would love their life to look like, but they're not taking action. They might be not taking action because they're stuck in a victim mentality. They might not be taking accountability for their life. They might be expecting things to miraculously happen without taking action. So I just feel like I want you to recognize your own commitment in showing up today and even showing up by watching the replay, because time is precious. But the fact that you are here is a shout out to yourself to say, yes, yes, I want more of this for myself so that I become unstoppable too. So for me, the more that we develop that relationship with ourselves, the more that we are showing up as the amazing, magnificent, energetic quantum beings that we are naturally, that I know that we can be and do and have whatever we want. But the thing that gets in the way for so many people is what's going on up here and in our nervous system, which I'll come on to. But it's like, if we want to work in, if we want to show up in a way that is empowered, if we want to navigate our career in a way that's empowered, if we want to grow and develop our business, if we want to make more money, if we want to call in more clients, if we want a promotion, if we want anything, even if we just want to experience feeling a certain way, as we go about our day, then we need to be in that empowered state. And that empowered state is the truth of who you already are. And the more that we let go of the idea of who we think we are, the more that we set ourselves free from the limitations of our thinking, from these old ideas of, I'm not good enough, I don't belong, I'm not worthy, I have to prove myself, I have to be seen to be perfect, all of which, by the way, I used to be. I've overcome those hurdles by doing the inner work. And what I can absolutely guarantee is that when we break free from that, what you're able to experience is, this is home. This is who I really am. And you know, last night I was working with a lovely, lovely young woman who um, has just started her journey with me. And at the beginning of her journey, she's trained as a lawyer. And as you can probably imagine, in a law company, she's feeling this certain sense of pressure to show up in a certain way. She feels like she's surrounded by really clever, articulate people that she's comparing herself to. And she's worried about getting out her words and worried about, well, if I don't say things in the right way, what will people think of me? And fears stumbling over her words, fears not being able to get her words out properly. And because she's got that fear, she's holding her body in a state of contraction. And literally, I think last night was literally only her third session in. And she was describing how in the morning she'd been and done a session with a personal trainer in the gym. And she'd walked out of the gym and the sun was shining and she just felt amazing. Now, you could say, yeah, some of that might be down to endorphins. And yeah, endorphins, they have a role to play in how we feel. But it was experiencing, feeling like, this is what it is to be in my power. And what was wonderful about what she was describing is since her last session, she's just been feeling so much more relaxed. She's like, I haven't once stumbled over my words. And I was like, well, what do you make of that? And she's like, well, because I'm just really present. And for me, that spoke such volume because there was such a truth in that, that when we are present, when we are in our being, then our natural, magnetic, amazing power just radiates. Because we're not getting stuck in our head. We're not stuck in overthinking things. Really getting that sense of clarity around what's going to let you know when you are fully embodying your personal power. Like if you were to wake up tomorrow and everything was as you wanted it to be, what's going to let you know that? Because to me, it's a bit like, if you think about a phone, I don't know whether you've got an iPhone or a Nokia, but they don't just create a phone and that's it. You know, don't know if it's every year, every 6 months, they come out with the next upgrade. And it's slicker, it's faster, it's got more functionality to it. And I love thinking about that in terms of how we are showing up in our life. I'd love to say that we get to a point where it's like, yeah, I'm done now. I'm done. I don't need to do any of this. For me, there's always another level, because as I said, it's like consciousness. There's no end and there's no beginning. But what I can say from my own journey is that it becomes easier and easier to upgrade to the next level. Our autonomic nervous system is so aligned because it doesn't feel the need to protect us anymore.